3 huge signings, £116.2 million on transfers alone. Pep Guardiola is done playing games. This new look Manchester City team is as scary as it gets.
Yeah, they were looking for a number 8, and for me it was not a big doubt if I wanted to join Manchester City. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world right now. And
add this to the existing team of players. Erling Haaland, Rodri, Phil Foden, and Pep's plan is clear. He wants to win everything again, and he wants to do it now. Hey, before we get into it, be sure you hit that subscribe button for more content like this. The 2024-25 season was a big lesson for Pep Guardiola. Poor form.
He's not ready for 90 minutes at all because he didn't train few games, train few training sessions this season, all season so far, and still we are not,
For the first time since he took over as City manager, Pep's team looked unrecognizable for large parts of this season. I mean, it's one thing to lose, but it's another to lose 5-1 to Netflix FC.
Time for a fifth. What a goal from Ranieri!
Had this to home and away defeats to Liverpool, losing to a Manchester United team at the Etihad, the same United team that had their worst league finish in Premier League history, and to top it off,
the whistle isn't blown, but it is now. There's a new name on the FA Cup. It's Crystal Palace.
Losing the FA Cup final to Crystal Palace. Pep knew what the problem was. His City team needed a new creative spark. They needed fresh legs, particularly in midfield, and that's where this £46.5 million signing comes in.
This morning, Manchester City have agreed a £46.3 million deal with AC Milan for midfielder Tijjani Reijnders.
Tijjani Reijnders from AC Milan, a potential City star in the making.
Have Manchester City finally found their Gundogan replacement? After all, they've been trying for a while now, even bringing him back to the club after a season at Barcelona. But in Milan's Tijjani Reijnders, they may have unearthed
this generation's Gundogan. With Reijnders, City has a midfield who can pretty much do everything. He had 275 progressive ball carries in the 2024-25 season, the second most of any player in Serie A. That's impressive. It gets even better when you realize he was doing this for an awful Milan team that finished 8th last season and didn't qualify for European football. Reijnders is capable of producing passes inside the middle third to City's front line. No disrespect to Milan, but feeding balls to Santi Jimenez and Erling Haaland, well, there's a clear difference. From deep, Reijnders is also a good distributor with passes that open up opposition defenses. Last season, he had 47 defense line breaking passes, the most of any player in Serie A. Again, he was doing this for a deadbeat Milan side. To top it off, Reijnders can score goals. 13 goals across all competitions for Milan last season. Pep now has a midfielder who can be a 6, an 8, or a 10. He's like an Ilkay Gundogan with legs now. But Reijnders isn't the only midfielder City spent money on this summer window. The other one was to fix a problem.
In order to flop, you have to start at a high level in order to have that fall, in order to have that flop. And it doesn't get any higher in this list than Phil Foden.
Phil Foden's drop-off last season from the one he had the season before was insane. It's almost as if he didn't exist, like he ghosted the entire campaign. It's also clear that his drop-off affected the team. With the in-and-out form of Kevin De Bruyne and players like Gundogan and Bernardo Silva struggling for form, Foden was a player everyone expected to step up at City. He didn't, and Pep's learned this lesson, so now he's gone and spent £30.6 million on a French wonderkid. Rayan Cherki, a certified baller. Anyone who watched his cameo against Spain in the Nations League semi-finals for France immediately knows.
Cherki! That's tremendous! Out of all.
He came on with 27 minutes to play and bagged a stunner with a goal and an assist. He was also making defense-splitting passes, created 2 big chances, and had a 95% passing accuracy. And this was just against Spain. For Lyon last season, Cherki was a creative force. He created 125 chances in all competitions, the 3rd highest in the top 5 leagues in Europe, only behind Bruno Fernandes and Rafinha. He had the most assists in Ligue 1 with 11, created the most big chances with 22, and had the most shot-creating actions with 146. And he also completed the most through balls last season in the league with 13. These are his stats. Then you watch him play, and you realize something else.
T'as combien, deux?
Pinpoint accuracy on either foot. Left or right, he's comfortable with the ball. Now, Cherki isn't an out-and-out winger, but just like Foden, he'll be comfortable playing on either side with the freedom of drifting infield to create chaos and goal-scoring actions. He's been one of the most hyped wonderkids in the world for a while now, and yet he's still only 21. Meaning if Pep can get this creative diamond to work his magic, it's set for a long spell of incredible football. The defense was a crazy nightmare for Pep's City team last season, particularly at left back. He used options like Nathanake and Josko Guardiola, but now it seems that Pep is taking a more Pep-style approach.
And I will give everything for my team, for my teammates, for the fans also.
£36.3 million for Rayan Aït-Nouri. Despite having an awkward season with Wolves where they finished 15th in the league, Aït-Nouri was one of Wolves' best players. 11 goal contributions in 38 league games last season. The immediate stat that jumps out is how the Algerian had added an end product to his game. He's very versatile. He played as a left wing back for Wolves last season, but he's also played as a number 10 under previous manager Gary O'Neill because of how creative he is on the ball. Going forward is where it's at for Rayan Aït-Nouri. He had the most goal contributions amongst defenders in the Premier League last season, created the 4th most chances, and had the 3rd most touches in the opposition box. Defensively, it's clear there is still much to improve, but it's also clear that his defensive role will be much different at Man City than it is at Wolves. You think of these signings, 3 potential big names who could all be starters in the team, and then you'd add the existing players to the mix. Despite the injuries he had and the overall poor form of the team, Erling Haaland still did what Erling Haaland does best. He was City's top scorer in all competitions with 31 last season. Now there has been talk about whether or not Haaland makes this City team static, but the truth is, that's just what it is. Cheap talk. Pep brought Haaland to this team in 2022 to score goals, and he's been delivering ever since. But last season it became a problem when Haaland wasn't scoring goals. At some point into the season, after Erling, Manchester City's next highest goal scorers were Guardiola and Mateo Kovacic with 3 each. Guardiola is a center back and Kovacic rarely scores. Pep knew in the long run that this could represent a problem for the team, so in January he made big moves in the market again.
It's Marmoush. Advancing. We came to bay.
They copped Omar Marmoush in red-hot form. As of his joining City, Marmoush had already registered 20 goals and 14 assists in just 23 games for Eintracht Frankfurt. He was one of the most informed players in Europe at the time, and it's clear, joining Man City, he had to wait a bit to find his rhythm. But even with that, 11 goal contribution in 22 games, averaging a goal contribution every 2 games for a guy who joined midway through the season, you get the idea that once he has the chance to get a proper preseason with this City team and understand the playing style in the squad, Marmoush could become a player who hits an entirely new level in the coming season. And now, they've got the Ballon d'Or back. A big part of the reason Pep and City struggled last season, the injury to Rodri. He missed several months of action after that knee injury against Arsenal, and it didn't take long before people began to realize just how important he is to this City team. Not like they didn't know, but with that injury it became even more obvious. Pep tried different fixes in the position. He played both Ilkay Gundogan and even Bernardo Silva as holding midfielders, but despite their efforts, it's clear neither of them are holding midfielders, and City struggled. The team looked better when they got what could become a Rodri replacement in the coming years, Nico Gonzalez from Porto, who had good performances against Newcastle, but didn't really get enough game time after that. Still, he'd definitely be one to watch in the coming season, as with the other young signings Pep made in January as well. Vitor Reis, Abdulkadir Hussanov, £29.6 million for Reis and £33.5 million for Hussanov. At 19 and 21 years respectively, it's clear that these are signings Pep made for the future. Then you add another special South American talent to the mix.
Echeverri gira, le pega. Goal!
19-year-old Claudio Echeverri. 5 goals at the South American Championships of 2023. Another hyped young talent is one to watch for the future. Hey, speaking of the future, Pep himself has been clear about it.
To Sky Sports News, breaking news, Pep Guardiola has signed a new contract to stay as Manchester City manager.
He's staying. Pep Guardiola signed a contract extension last season, which means he'll be at the City until 2027. And knowing Pep, these are the type of challenges he lives for.
And you'll get it back. That fire, the players will have it.
Me personally, I need that losers. I want to be honest, for the club it's exceptional that happened. Exceptional.
Seems like he really did. He needed something to motivate his City team again. Something to remind them about how special what they'd done was. They won 4 in a row and didn't win any major trophies this season. And that's all the motivation this City team needs now to become the first English team to win everything again. Hey, do you think it's possible, or will it be a step too far for Pep and his City team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.